I'm trying to find something that I can say without compromise the band.
Ciao tutti, welcome to Metal Remains Backstage. I am Carlos in New York City, and today with me is Nicoletta Rosellini from the new Italian band Alterium.
Ciao! Oh, nice to meet you, and thank you for the invitation. I'm really glad
Of
to be
course.
here today.
Awesome. We're excited to have you here. Nicoletta, thank you for making time to chat with us today. How is everything going so far?
Well, we're getting close to the release of our new album, of our actually debut album, not new album. It's a debut album, so we are really excited. It's been a long journey actually because we started to release the first single back in September, so it's been a long journey. We released 6 singles so far, and we can't wait to unleash the full album on March the 8th.
Yeah, awesome news. We are here today to talk about your album, your debut album. But before we dive into it, I would like to start by asking you, not as an artist, but as a music fan, what have you been listening to lately?
Oh, this is a nice question. Actually, I've been listening a lot to some old Stratovarius album lately, and also some old Rhapsody of Fire. I don't know why lately I've been doing this, listening to some of the old albums that I love. Also, a little bit of old Camelot. So
Mhm.
yeah. I'm not listening much to new bands at the moment. I don't know why this is going on. I like to do a re-listening of my favorites album at the moment.
All right. Going back to things you love, there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong about it. All
absolutely.
right. I'm curious to know about the band's name, Alterium. What does it refer to?
Actually, it doesn't have a proper name. When we got signed by AFM, we didn't have a name for the band yet, actually, and we sat down with the label to discuss our possibility. We wanted something that would looks like it's from Rome, from Italy, something like in Latin, but we didn't want any actual word. And actually, I don't know, I don't remember who came out with the idea of Alterium, probably me, but it was really, I don't know why it caught my attention, and I said, okay, this is the name. It sounds great. It's just one word. People will remember it. So it's working.
It starts with the first letter in the alphabet, so it's
Yeah.
great. Nicoletta, the music industry is not something new to you, as you have been part of it from previous bands and projects you have worked with. I can mention Kalidia, Walking Darkness, and also this other project, The Erinais, if I am
Yeah.
pronouncing that correctly.
I think
What
it's
is
Erinys. Yeah, I think it's referring to the Greek mythology, and I think it's the Erinys. I think.
okay? All right. Thank you for
We
correcting me on
we
that,
yeah.
the Erinais.
In Italy
Awesome.
we said le erigne. It's really different from the Italian, but I think it's the Erinys.
All right. Awesome. I love Italian. I hope to learn some words in Italian someday. Now, comparing what you have done with these other bands and projects, what is different or new about Alterium?
I think that Alterium is quite different from Walk in Darkness, which is more in the gothic and atmospheric mood, and also the Arenes is more like melodic pop, symphonic metal. I think that we can clearly see Alterium as the next step of what I did with Kalidia. Kalidia was my actually first band where I started composing music, lyrics, and we released 2 albums before we split up. And I think Alterium is taking that power metal style to another level. We are adding a lot of our new influences, and I think we are going in that path that I already went with Kalidia, but taking to another level.
Sure. And correct me if I am not mistaken, but I understand you're also a songwriter with
Yeah.
Alterium.
Yeah. I also was with Kalidia, actually.
Okay.
I also took care of all the vocal lines, some of the music, and all the lyrics also for Kalidia. And I'm doing the same in Alterium. While in the other projects, like Work in Darkness and The Erinis, I'm just a singer. So they tell me what to do, and I do.
All right. Awesome. Of War and Flames, it's set for release on March 8, 2024 through AFM Records. We have listened to the album in advance, and here at the Metal Remains Camp, we agree that it's a very solid and robust debut album. In your own words, how would you define this first offering?
Some of the words that I think when I'm thinking about our music are melodic, fast, strong, uh, and also with some great vocal lines and lyrics. I'm really putting a lot of attention on vocal lines and lyrics, and I think this is something that people appreciate a lot. We just released our first lyrics video for the song Crystalline, and I was just reading some of the comments, and I'm pretty sure that people are actually enjoying also the lyrics of the band. There's
Yeah,
a
I
lot
just
of
saw the video some
yeah.
minutes ago.
Yeah. And also I think that also bombastic arrangements are something to mention. We have huge choirs made by, of course, real singers. So this is actually a very big production.
Great. We love the album. We cannot
Thank
wait
you.
for the public to listen to it. Is there a song from the album that has a special meaning to you?
Well, I think Crystalline is very special. I wrote those lyrics for my father, who passed away more than a decade ago, and so I think it's really meaningful to me. But they are like my children, and I love all the songs. I put so much effort to write some good lyrics. Some about mythology, some other about video games or fantasy stories. But it takes some time to find the right lyrics, and I'm really proud of them.
All right. Awesome. That's a heartfelt
Yeah.
song. Thank you for sharing that with us. Let's talk a little bit about the album artwork. I think is magnificent, and I am very curious about what is depicted on it. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, the artwork is inspired actually by the song, the title track of Foreign Flames, and the song is about an Egyptian goddess called Sekhmet. She's the goddess of war, of flames, of revenge, and she's always portrayed as a beautiful woman with dark hair, and she has actually the face of a lion, but we didn't want to show it in that way. That's why we decided to portray it from behind, and so we imagined her from in her own temple with a lot of fire. The artwork was designed by Emanuela Nicosia. She's a real painter, and we really enjoyed what she did.
She did a magnificent job. And to be really honest with you, when I first saw the album artwork, just at first glance, I thought it was you. It was like a picture.
This is something actually that it was meant to be. Yeah, that's why also we portrayed her from the back. It could looks like me, but not being me actually.
That's a nice
I'm not,
move
yeah.
right there.
I actually don't like to be on the front of a cover for an album. I know that many other singers actually do that, but I don't really like it. But
Mhm.
I think this is the right way. There are some references to me, like, this lady with long black hair, but it's not me,
Yeah.
and I like it.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a very nice artwork.
Thank you.
By the time we are recording this interview, there have been 4 official videos, 1 lyric video, and 1 live video released from your album.
Yeah.
All of them are fantastic and top notch. Which one has been the most challenging to film?
Actually, I have a good story about both Siren's Call and Of War and Flames because we didn't plan to shoot a video for Of War and Flames. Actually, it was supposed to be
Mm,
another lyrics video, and we were supposed to shoot the Siren's Call playback with all the band at the lake Tovel, which is in the Dolomites in the north of Italy. But for that weekend, it was supposed to rain a lot. And it actually happened. So we, at the last minute, we changed location for the playback of the band for Siren's Call, but we still had an extra day for shooting near the lake, and so we decided to take the risk. So we went there and it was raining a lot, but the
we
place
can
was,
tell
yeah,
that, yeah.
the place was so beautiful that I said to the guys and to the director, we have to do something here. I can sacrifice myself. I can go on that rock on top and just make sure we don't damage any kind of equipment. So we were there with all of our umbrellas trying to cover the cameras.
Yeah.
And so at the very beginning, we thought it was done, like me doing the playback, and that's all. But in the afternoon, actually, we got a little bit of luck, and it stopped to rain for about 1 hour, so we were able to do the all the flying scenes, and
Hmm.
also the guys were able to do some
Yeah, when they're
playbacks too.
playing.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was impossible to bring the drum kit there with all the mud. It was really impossible, but I think in the end the result was quite cool, and the place was so awesome, and I'm really glad in the end we did it.
Yeah, I think even the rain helped the video to be
Yeah.
more, I don't know, very impactful. As you were
Exactly.
saying, that place is beautiful, the mountains, the forest, the lake. You want me to go there just by looking
Yeah.
at the scene. It's beautiful. And on top of that, you have a power metal band playing there. What? What else can you ask for? And it's also very interesting that the name of the song for the video is Of War and Flames,
Yeah, and
and
then you
it's
go by a
raining,
lake.
everybody's wet. But
Yeah,
it's
because
great.
it wasn't supposed to be like that, but in the end, I'm really glad we did actually, and we got a lot of positive feedback on that video, so it was a
Oh,
great
yeah,
choice.
absolutely. It's a great video. We love it. Actually, we love all of the videos.
Thank you.
Awesome. Now, let's talk a little bit about the future. What are the future plans for the band once the album is set out to the public?
Well, actually, we will continue to release new music. We already recorded 3 new songs that will be released after the album, so we'll keep you entertained for the next months. And we are also working a lot to get some more shows. We have already done 3 festivals before the release of the album, and I think
Mhm.
that's really great. And we are working to actually have more shows for summer and the next fall. We just confirmed the Brainstorm Festival in Netherlands, which is
Mhm.
such a great festival, and we are working on many other things. We hope to play as much as we can. We know we are a new band, so it's not easy for us to book a lot of stuff at the very beginning, but I think we will get something cool.
Oh, yeah. With time, you will tour the world, and I'm gonna be
We hope
waiting for you
so.
guys here. Yeah, absolutely, you
We
will.
hope so.
Now, besides music, you have other passions and you also work in other fields. Can you tell us about it briefly?
Well, first of all, I'm working as a veterinarian. So I'm an animal doctor. I'm taking care of cats and dogs. I'm doing that. I'm working part-time in a clinic in the city center of Venezia. So who's following me on social media knows that I'm posting a lot of pictures and stories from Venezia. That's
Mhm.
because the vet clinic I'm working in, it's in the city center. And so I'm working there 3 days a week. And beside that, I'm also working a lot in the, nerd geek field. So
Mhm.
you can also find me at most of the Italians Comic Cons and fair. Uh, I'm there doing promotion for new games, new books, new fantasy things, and trading cards game, and a lot of stuff. And I really enjoyed, as I always said, video games, books, fantasy story have always been a huge part of my childhood, and
Mhm.
they also inspired me a lot to write new music. So this is one of my dream come true, also to be able to work on that field.
Awesome, awesome. And yeah, those world many times they go hand in hand because one
Yeah,
inspire the others,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's great. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Let me throw just a random question here
Okay, I'm
about
ready.
not music or any other related
Okay.
topic. It's something different. And the question is, does pineapple belong in pizza?
No, no, please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah, every Italian
Yeah.
artist that I ask that question, the
Yeah,
answer is the
and every
same.
time, yeah, and every time I go to the studio in Germany with our producer Lars from Freedom Call, he always have some frozen pineapple pizza, and he always cook it for me. And please don't do that. Don't do that. It's a
All
crime
right.
against humanity. Please don't do that.
It is. I agree with you. And I actually learned from another Italian artist that the word in Italian for pineapple is ananas.
Ananas, yes.
All right. Great. You see, I'm learning. I'm learning word by
Yeah.
word. Nicoletta, to wrap up this chat, can you share with us one of your favorite backstage moments?
Backstage moments. I'm trying to find something that I can say without compromise the band, because
All right.
we had some a lot of fun in the backstage. Actually, at our very first gig in Germany, I don't know why there was a huge cucumber in the backstage. And I remember that my bass player was running around with this huge cucumber and trying to offer to everyone that was looking at him and
Are
say,
you
"Okay."
hungry? Are you hungry?
Yeah, and it was fun actually. We had a lot of beers. It was a really friendly situation with all the bands enjoying some drinks together, so it was really funny. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think they thought it was crazy, and he actually is our best player. It's kind of crazy, but he's a nice guy and he's a awesome guitar player, songwriter, and he's also an amazing singer. You will probably hear some of his voice on our second album.
All right. Awesome. Great. Thank you for sharing that. If you enjoyed this interview, please like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel. For more content like this, make sure to buy and stream Of War and Flames. Catch Alterium on the road when they come to a city near you. But until then, stay metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ciao.